Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about my favorite books of 2020. This list only contains 4 books, which isn't very much. I'm kind of upset that I didn't enjoy that many of the books that I read in the past year, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm hoping to like more of the books I read next year, but for now we're just gonna get into talking about the books that I did like. 2 of these books I spoke about in my last video, so there's that. The first book I'm going to talk about is There'll Be Peace When You Are Done. This is a collection of essays from the fans and actors of this show, Supernatural. This book was exactly what I needed once the show ended and I got myself together. And it was just a bright moment for me to just have this consistent element from the show that I could look back and see everyone else's thoughts when going into the show. And I just really appreciated that with it. There isn't much more than that, but I really did just enjoy having that connection to it, and that's probably why it's a favorite book of the year for me, purely because I just have this very strong emotional connection to it at this point, and there's not much I can do about it otherwise. But overall, love this book. Next book I'm going to talk about is Corsa Mushrooms by Haruhi Goto. I thought this book was so beautifully crafted. The words were beautiful. What color did some of the lines about storytelling were absolutely beautiful. I don't know how else to talk about it. Once they talk about stories, it's just funny thing, Marasuku, how these stories keep changing, but that's the natural of all matter, I suppose. Can't expect the words to come out the same each time my tongue moves to speak. If my tongue was cut from my face, I would surely grow another. No, it is the nature of matter to change, and I feel the change coming from deep within my bones. Time ripens like a fruit, and I must hurry. This story, it's just, I really enjoyed how important storytelling was to the root of this story, and I loved how family was so important, and how storytelling connects people even through language barriers, and the story was so good in that way, and I can't push this upon people enough. The next book I'm going to talk about is Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. This is book 4, I think. Oh, shit. Of the Witchland series by Susan Dennard. I can't really talk about what this is about because spoilers. But the first book is Truth Witch, and that follows our main characters Safi and Izut. And Safi is a Truth Witch, and Izut is a Thread Witch, and you kind of follow their story as shit hits the fan. I really enjoyed this installment. I loved the Merrick's point of view. I enjoyed Fazzy's point of view. Enjoyed all the characters, and I'm really excited for Witch Shadow. I'm just very invested in this series now, and I know that things are going to get very intense. This one follows Adion, who's the Blood Witch, as is his cover thing, and he's the main person throughout the storyline. I just really love this very high fantasy YA series. Most YA series don't go this high into fantasy, and I just love it so much. And speaking of high fantasy, my last book is of course high fantasy, and it is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This book is huge and it's so good. I love it. Did so much while reading it. It's a high fantasy and it follows Eid and it follows Severn and it follows Tene, and it's just so good. Queen Sabine is the queen of a very long line of queens who are said to stop these dragons from destroying their land, but then they discovered that that's a lie, and Eid is sent there to watch her and protect her, and Tani is a dragon rider and has dragons. It's gay. It's so good, and I just kind of want to reread it again and just write over it. I just want to like enjoy it so much. Such a long book, but I can guarantee you this page is so worth it. I just love this book so much. It was so good. So there is my 2020 favorites for the year. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.